next is probably the best division in football. 100% the West in the NFC. Everyone in this division could make the playoffs.
Absolutely. If there's one division that could have every single team make the playoffs, it would be the NFC West, for sure.
Oh, 100%, dude. Last year, fourth, we had San Francisco, the Niners. They went 6-10. They had so many injuries. Bosa got injured. Pornstar Jimmy. Yeah, I think they had like 2 or 3 running backs go down. They were playing on like AstroTurf or some shit. And that was after they made the Super Bowl the year before last. Mm-hmm. They drafted Trey Lance, 3rd overall. Thank God they didn't draft McCorkle. When do you think Lance plays this season, barring injury, or you think they're gonna wait?
It's tough to say because like the biggest problem for San Francisco has been injury. So it's tough to not predict that he'll be in at some point because of that. Of course, you don't want to speculate on injury. I think he'll play this year. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say it's because of injury, but I think he will play this year at some point. I don't think that he'll be brought in super early, though.
I think even if Pornstar Jimmy doesn't get injured, they will bring him in just because of it's getting kind of testy over there for Jimmy. Like, the fans want him gone for the most part. Shanahan definitely doesn't want to keep him if they drafted Lance. Lance is definitely going to be their guy. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is like a middle to mid-bottom quarterback. But I think he doesn't really have to be a super elite quarterback because the Niners are a really fucking good team. The only reason they went 6-10 is because everyone just wasn't on the field for him to play. Shanahan is a really good coach. I think Jimmy will rebound. 3rd place was Arizona. They went 8-8. They added a lot. They added AJ Green this year. They got JJ Watt. Traded for Rodney Hudson.
They have one of the most interesting teams.
Yeah, they do. They're a very college team. That's what everyone says about them. And Kingsbury's kind of whole scheme, the, run and gun type of thing.
If you put them in any other division, like if you put them in the East, they'd win. Easy.
Oh, yeah.
But they just are a victim of being in a division that is great.
Stacked. Are you sold on Kingsbury?
No, I think he's a fucking moron. I think he sucks.
Yeah, I think he'd make a wonderful, wonderful OC.
Yes.
But as a head coach, I don't really know. I'm a big Kyler guy. I think Kyler will play even better this year. He's got more weapons now. I think AJ Green might maybe not be at the same level he was in Cincinnati, but he'll definitely have a better season than last, I think. JJ Watt, I think JJ Watt's kind of done, but it's just nice to see him still in the league.
I agree.
In 2nd place, it was the LA Rams who went 10-6. They beat Seattle in the wild card game, which was amazing. Thank you, by the way. And they traded the best player they've ever had over the offseason. It was kind of a shock. They traded our Lord and Savior, Jack and Goff.
Moment of silence.
Matt Stafford. Some silence for Jack and Goff. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Goff.
But they got Stafford now.
Mm-hmm.
And Stafford with that defense, I don't know, man. I think the Rams might make some noise this season.
It's ridiculous. I've been watching this guy my whole life. twice a year, and he just needed a team. He needed a team that wasn't the Lions, and now that he has the Rams, it's ridiculous, man. He's gonna be so good. Sleeper MVP, I think.
Yeah, I've always been a Stafford guy personally,
Mm-hmm.
and most people I talk to also agree that Stafford has always just been fucked over in Detroit. So he's got some weapons in LA. I think McVay is a really good coach. He's also the funniest coach to watch in the league, 100%.
He's a cartoon
whenever
character.
they show him on the sideline.
It's absolutely
Dude,
a
yeah.
cartoon character.
I think it's also really funny that he's shorter than like most of the guys. He's just so funny to watch because of how mad he gets,
Mm-hmm.
and him like running on the sidelines and shit.
He wears like tracksuits to every game.
I think the Rams like just are they able to compete with Tampa? I think they can beat Tampa. That's the question, really. And even like maybe the other teams in their division, those are really the big contenders. I know there's Green Bay, but we'll get to them. You have any other thoughts you have on the Rams?
I think they're about to have an incredible year. I mean, they were so good last year.
Yeah.
And they had some injuries, and Goof was out with a thumb, and then Wofford or Wolford or whatever the fuck his name, he died in that playoff
Wolford.
game. They beat the Go Hawks. I mean, I think they're about to have a ridiculously good year. I think that the Rams are going to be a team to watch all year. And like I said, Stafford, sleeper MVP.
Go Hawks.
Yes.
It's time.
Yes.
Go Hawks.
Finally.
12-4. Beast mode was activated last year for the Go Hawks.
Sherm, you mad
They
bro,
looked
bro, beast
really
mode.
good. Oh, Sherm. They're bringing Sherm back.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
They're going to bring Browner and the Roids back.
Dude, Earl Thomas.
All of them are coming back. Yeah, why doesn't he go back to Seattle?
Go Hawks. Let's
That'd be
go.
awesome. Go Hawks.
Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
Let me find another job. It doesn't pay
Unreal.
me enough money at all. I want a better one.
Malcolm
I'm
Butler
going to tell you
who
this.
almost made the phenomenal.
Cadillac won the toss. We won the ball. We're gonna score.
Fuck you.
Turn it on.
Fuck you.
They're coming.
Take this job and shove it.
Pass is picked
I'm
up.
not looking for you anymore.
Interception.
Stick it up your ass.
The other way.
Suck my damn
The
dick,
Green Bay
asshole.
Packers advance.
Fuck this from ass jerk.
Touchdown, Al Harris.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Will be the safety
Fuck
down
you.
here. And
Fuck
the
you.
Pittsburgh Steelers 7-5. And wouldn't make the playoffs 2 months ago. Run the entire table with 8 wins, regular and coach.
I hate the Seahawks. I mean,
Fuck
go
the
Hawks.
Seahawks. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks, guys.
Beast
Go
mode
Hawks.
12.
We're definitely a Hawks fucking
We're from
podcast.
Seattle, which means we love the Go Hawks. Yay.
So they were 12-4. This is more of a conversation for fellow Washingtonians here. Everyone apparently hates Russell Wilson now.
We're not sure if
you
he
guys
fits
don't
into
deserve
our
Russell
culture.
Wilson, by the
That's what
way.
they say.
Yeah. Fuck you, Seahawk fans. You guys don't fucking deserve Wilson.
It's
I
ridiculous.
mean, the ones who are like legit fans and like him, like that's cool, I guess. But the fact that there are like all these motherfucking pompous bitches complaining about him, like get the fuck out of here.
If you're a Seahawks fan and you're complaining about Wilson, like you clearly do not understand that he is the greatest player that's ever played for your franchise, and that without him you are trash. You are garbage.
Dude,
you are
literally.
nothing.
Oh, but we have DK. Who the fuck's gonna throw to him if you don't have
Nope.
Wilson?
Yeah, I don't care if jacked Binky Boy's on your team. If you have Geno Smith throwing to him, yeah, you're gonna be missing Wilson
Oof.
pretty quick. It's ridiculous.
I
It's ridiculous what like how entitled Seahawks fans are. It's just like they think that
Yeah.
their team was founded when Russell Wilson was drafted, and now they're like, oh well, he doesn't fit into our culture. Oh, it's just like, fuck you.
I don't
Seahawks
think a
fans
lot of
suck.
people realize this just because they're like they're pretty much all up here. Seahawks fans are the worst fan base I've ever had to experience.
It's
Like, they're
ridiculous.
worse than Patriots fans,
Way worse.
Steelers fans, worse than fucking Cowboys fans. They are 100% the worst fan base in the NFL I've had to deal
Well, because
with.
at least like
I
with
fucking hate Seahawks fans.
at least with like Philadelphia fans, where they'll pour beer on you and like
Oh, I
assault
forgot
you
about
and
Philly.
like and attempted murder, like they actually are real fans, right? They actually know like how football works, and they watch their team play football, and they know that there's like a year before 2013. Like Seahawk fans are just completely delusional, and like they thought that their team started with the drafting of Russell Wilson. They don't know what a Hasselback is. They don't understand that the Seahawks used to have silver helmets. They don't understand that football has a history before the 2014 Super Bowl. It's just they're delusional, they're insane, and they're obnoxious. I mean, living here being anything but a Seahawks fan is insufferable. These people are terrible. And now that their team hasn't gone deep on a deep run in the playoffs recently, there's no more jerseys that you see everywhere. There used to be Blue Friday. Every Friday they'd wear their jerseys everywhere. It doesn't exist anymore because the team hasn't gone on a deep playoff run recently. I mean, it's just the most fair weather, obnoxious, non-informed, completely delusional fan base I've ever experienced, and I hate them, and I always will. Fuck the Seahawks.
I mean, just look at what they're saying about fucking Wilson after, like, just hearing that he wanted to leave or whatever bullshit that was going on. Yeah. They just all turn their back, like, oh, we want him gone anyway. Like, what are you talking about? He was bad at the end of the year.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah, how can you talk about Wilson being the MVP and then just, like, at the end of the season have a complete 180 on him? Just like, oh, they need to trade him. And they don't even talk about Carrol.
They never talk about Carrol, no. They always they always blame Wilson when he throws like one pick after having like a great game. They're like, "Oh, it's Wilson's fault." It's like you guys just don't understand that there's another fucking position other than quarterback, do you? Jesus.
So what are your standings out of the West? Greatest division of football.
At the bottom, I have Arizona going 8-9. I think that they've got so much talent, but I think, like I said, Cliff Kingsbury is like a dumb little bitch. Oh, cut that out. I think Cliff Kingsbury is like a fucking dumbass.
Like a
and I just think that they're gonna be good, but they have to play these other three teams 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So like it's just they don't really have a shot. I think in the long run, though, they could really make some noise, depending on the other teams in the division. Next, I have Seattle going 11-6, so they take a little bit of a step back, but they're still very good. I hate the Go Hawks, but they've improved from last year, and they're going to have a good season. And being third in the division, they'll still make the playoffs. And people will still be pissed around the area because Seahawk fans are the worst. Number 2, I have San Francisco going 12-5, so a great year for them, beating out Seattle for that second spot and a higher seed in the playoffs. And my number 1 is the Los Angeles Rams. I am a huge believer in Matt Stafford. They had the best defense in football last year, and it's.
What do you have the Rams going?
I have them going 13-4.
Okay.
So really, really good year. I think most of their losses come against the division. I don't remember all the matchups. I think they play the Chiefs and maybe even the Buccaneers. So maybe those are a couple of losses too. But I think they have a really good year, and I think they finish first in the West. Back to you, Brett.
All right. So. What you're saying about the division and losses, I literally had everyone split when I was doing their records just because of how they're like what the NFC East used to be. Everyone's just like beating up on each other. I had Arizona going 10-7 and they're last in the
Whoa.
division.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, the West is fucking stacked on my fucking standings, dude.
Okay.
Arizona plays so many shitty teams, but they're gonna get fucked over because of their division that they're in.
Does
Which
that make
sucks.
them playoffs? Are they playoffs or they just miss it?
No, they just miss it.
Gotcha,
They miss
okay.
it. They literally lose the tiebreaker to New Orleans,
Gotcha. Okay.
so they just miss it. Then I had Seattle at 12-5. Seattle, they're such a boring team now to talk about, though, because they always do this. They always end up making the playoffs, but they don't do anything. And spoiler alert. I hate talking about them, and I hate hearing about them. Second place, I have LA at 13-4. The Rams are gonna have a fucking great season as well. I also believe in Stafford. I mean, they got Aaron Donald. As much as I meme on them, they got Juice World, Jalen Ramsey. They re-signed Leonard Floyd. Like, I think they're gonna be the same team and a little bit more this season, because they're not gonna have Jack and Goff to throw them some games. They're gonna have Stafford, who can win games. So, then number one, I have the 49ers coming back strong, 14-3. I just have this feeling the Niners are gonna come back, because they were just so snake bitten last year.
Would not be
14-3
shocked.
might be a little high for them.
I
I
still
don't think
wouldn't
the
be
West.
shocked if they were 14-3.
Yeah, same. Like, their defense is stacked. Garoppolo has shown he can get them to 13-3 at the very least. And they haven't really lost anyone super major the past couple off seasons since they made it to the Super Bowl. So yeah, that's where I put it. So we just kind of have LA and San Francisco switched around.
Cool.
Next